My name is Lyle Jansma, and I'm from Bellingham, Washington. I'm a member of the Heritage Flight Museum in Burlington, Washington, in Skagit County. And my company is called Jansma Design. And what we're doing here today is a portion of my company which is called AeroCapture Images and the Cockpit360 program. And set up here in the cockpit, and what we're doing is creating 360-degree images so that visitors, when they come to the museum and whatnot, they can use their smartphone and be able to see the inside of these aircraft. What I'm doing here is I've got a Canon 5D Mark II mounted, and this is a rotator that essentially we take different positions and we take a certain number of images, we blend them together so that we can have the exposure on the outside and the inside. And there's probably about a 10-step process. I've been photographing 360s since 1998. I got started photographing yachts. Part of the problem back then was that I was using Apple QuickTime, and a lot of people who wanted to see these 360s were using Windows machines, and there was a problem. People didn't want to download a plugin, an Apple plugin, for their Windows machine. But when the iPhone came out, more people accepted the the iPhone and the iPod and whatnot, accepted having an Apple product on their Windows machine. But we had a problem with downloads rates and whatnot. These are pretty big files, so people didn't have the bandwidth. Sure. And about 3 or 4 years ago, everything kind of came together with technology, with a lot more people having broadband, HTML5. And so that's when we built the app, the Cockpit360 app, that's available right now on iTunes, and it'll be available for Android hopefully within the next month or so. And it's a free app to download, and you can, I think we photographed about 30 aircraft here at the museum, so that's available that you can take a look at. I think we ought to just do one maybe one right about here, because then we can get two sides of the autographs and whatnot. And, typically, these aren't opened up for the general public, but yet the cockpits are such an important part of the airplanes, because this is really the human element. All these different dials, and you look at all the controls and the yoke and whatnot. This is where the airplane is controlled from, of course. And to not be able to see it, it leaves a certain portion of the experience out of the whole thing. Being able to be here is pretty cool. And the fact that this is, it's interesting. It's a movie heritage type of airplane as well. You see with all those autographs. But what I really like about this airplane is it does more than just, sure, F-15s and F-16s, they're cool. But this supplies the men, supplies the women. It's there when you have a relief aid mission. So this airplane is so versatile. It does so much more. I mean, you think of those images of people in Katrina, right? And the C-17s came in, and although it wasn't the most pleasant ride out of the area, when you see a C-17 coming in, it's got a load of good stuff. Is it okay to post these on Facebook? Perfect.